Welcome on this Hangouts on Air. My name is Marcos Psimitis. Today we will be covering the following topics: supply chain and its analysis, models of different supply chain forms, supply chain management, and some disadvantages that may exist. Let's start by seeing how the supply chain is structured in a business and what does it involve. In order for the supply chain process to start and at least be effective, we need various things. The supply chain process includes individuals, people who will be in charge of the whole process, organizations, which will be the ones for whom the whole process was generated in the first place. Resources, which would be all the necessary utilities and supplies needed for the process, and in the end, activities and technologies that would contribute in the creation and the distribution of the product. Next, we will discuss the different models of supply chain. Some of them are the SCOR model, the Global Supply Chain model, the Process Classification Framework model, and the Supply Chain Roadmap model. The Supply Chain Reference Model enables users to address, improve, and communicate supply chain management practices within and between all interested parties in the enterprise. In the global supply chain model, a cross-functional team is the one who manages every process, making sure everything is done correctly and in the right way. It also involves experts from various areas that make sure the process is successful. The Process Classification Framework model allows organizations to see their business processes from a cross-industry viewpoint. The Process Classification Framework model was developed by the American Productivity and Quality Center and its member organization as an open standard to facilitate improvement through process management and benchmarking regardless of industry size or geography. Next follows the Supply Chain Roadmap. The Supply Chain Roadmap is a method where an organization's supply strategy can be viewed in an organized and systematical approach in order to assure alignment of the supply chain within the business strategy. The method is supported in the most important and recognized theories and practices about supply chain strategy and business strategy. Next, we will be discussing about the supply chain management and its characteristics. One of the key characteristics of the supply chain management is planning. What I mean by that is making sure there is a specific plan followed and that this specific plan is based on budget and time. Another characteristic of the supply chain management is the handling of operations. Supervising all operations and making sure everything is done correctly is a key to the success of the supply chain management. Next, in the supply chain management characteristics list is forecasting, which basically means anticipating any issues that may appear and making sure that there is always enough supply in order for demand to be satisfied. Next in our list is fulfillment. Being able to fill efficiently and effectively the customer's orders is a key to the success of a business. Also important is developing a network that meets customers' demands and needs. Last but not least is purchasing and distribution. This involves the responsibility of identifying the best material based on budget, and it also involves being in charge of all the buying and selling activities, negotiations and agreements with vendors and suppliers, and making sure the product is distributed based on needs. It is essential to mention that there are indeed some disadvantages in the supply chain process and its management. Some of those disadvantages are complexity, high cost, commissions, and the fact that it is time-consuming. However, comparing advantages and disadvantages, I would say it is important to understand that there are some strong points on both sides. Some questions we could possibly ask ourselves after comparing the two are: how is the supply chain process changing day by day? And if there are any steps in the process that we would possibly skip to save money, time, and energy. Overall, today we covered the topics of supply chain process and its analysis, the different models of supply chain, the characteristics of the supply chain management, and some disadvantages that are essential to know. In conclusion, we need to understand that the supply chain is an extremely complex process. We also need to know that there are many different models of supply chain for businesses to utilize. As mentioned earlier, there are in fact some serious disadvantages. I strongly believe that if the supply chain process is followed correctly, it is equal to success. That's all I have for you today in this Google Hangouts on Air. Thank you. See you next time.